Good morning, students, and welcome back to our digital classroom once again. After a long summer break, we are meeting together. I hope whatever the tasks given to you, you have completed very well. Okay, today I'm going to start a new chapter, that is data handling. So this chapter I have divided into three segments. In my first segment, I have what is the meaning of data, how do we collect data, and how do we represent data through different modes. Okay, then let's see what is the meaning of data. A data may be defined as a collection of information from any event in the form of number. So data basically is a number, and this number is is an information from any event. Suppose I have conducted class test, okay, and the test was out of 40 and number of students was 60. So whatever your score, I have recording it. Okay. After that, we have to organize your score either increasing or decreasing order, or and then we have to represent your score with the help of different method. Okay. So this is the data handling. So again, I'm repeating. Data is a collection of information in the form of number from any event. Event is an activity or whatever the type of work we are liking to do. Say cricket ball throwing in sports. So 60 students are throwing cricket ball. So whatever your score, you are covering the distance. I'm noting down one by one. Okay, that is my recording, the collection of information. After that, we have to organize your score, and then we have to represent your score. These are the three main key area of data handling, that is collection of information, organize the information, and represent the information. Are you clear? So I have a short video clip for you. Let's see. I think within this video clip you will make out what is the meaning of data handling. Okay, let's see it.
Data handling. Hello, dear students. Today we will look for a new lesson, data handling. Actually, you all are well versed with the contents of this lesson. In 7th standard, you all have learned how to collect, organize, and represent the data. Let us
These are
take
the
a
three
review
key
of these
areas
contents.
we have to work on it.
Data is a collection of related information. Example: Miss Neelam, a class teacher, writes down the data of marks obtained in English by the students in the following manner. Her colleague helped her to organize the unorganized data in the following meaningful way to understand it properly. It properly shows which students got what marks. Sometimes data is represented graphically to give a clear idea of what it represents. We have seen the presentation of data with a bar graph, pie chart, pictograph, and double bar graph also used to represent the data.
I think you have understood well. Now we have to study about how to represent the data through different modes. Okay. First one is the pictograph or pictorial representation. So this is actually you have done in class 5 and 6. So it is not our course of study also. Since it is one of the mode of representation data, that's why I am discussing. In case of pictorial representation, what you see, the picture should be in the horizontal line and vertical line should be the event. Okay, here what does it represent? The number of cars are flying in three different months: July, August, September. So now this, so number of cars will be more. So how will represent that more number? So you have given in the form of picture, the one car represent 100 cars. So if 250 cars are flying in a day in the month of July, so then how do we represent? Two whole car and one other half car. Okay, then 250 cars are flying in the month of July. August, you see three cars are there. What does it mean? Three cars equivalent to 300 cars are flying. Okay, so September 4 cars are there. That means 400 cars are flying on the road. So this is pictorial representation. This is not our course of study also, but one type of representation that's I am discussing. Our next topic is what bar graph representation. Suppose I like to discuss or I like to represent one event. Okay, say marks scored by a student, particular student. Okay, in 5 consecutive academic year in different subjects. Okay, what about his score? Number of students, sorry, here the number of student taken admission in class 8 in 1 2 3 4 5 5 consecutive years, that is represented through this bar. So we can, after my representation, I can set some question in which year the admission was maximum, which year the admission was least, what is the difference between the admission of 2004-5 to 2005-6. This type of question might be said. So here single bar graph represent one event only, that is student taking in admission, and 3 4 5 different years it may be. Okay, or we can represent whatever a particular child scored in 5 or 6 7 different subjects, okay, in a particular test, that like to represent. So single bar graph, with the help of single bar, the single bar graph is what? It is a rectangular bar of equal width. All we will have the equal width and spacing equal distance. Yeah, you remember it. The bar will be equal width, and one bar to another bar, the gap will be also equal. On your graph paper, you see centimeter graph is there. 1 centimeter should be one bar, and you have to leave another 1 centimeter, and then another bar. This way you have to proceed. Okay, so single bar graph represent one information's particular event. Okay, so now what we have, the double bar graph. Double graph, main concept of double bar graph is there when two set of information we have to study simultaneously. Remember, two sets of information we have to study simultaneously, or we need to have comparative analysis of two sets of informations. Okay, then we need the help of double bar graph. Say here the marks obtained by students, what, in maths. Okay, first in the year of 506 2005 and 6, 2006 and 7, or you can consider as unit test 1, unit test 2. So yellow color represent unit test 1 and the green color represent unit test 2. So you can see in 5 major subjects, math, science, social science, English and Hindi, the score like this. In the first unit test or first year, the score was minimum in maths. Second test, the score is improved. Third, again science, also in second test improved. Science also second step in improve. English in second step the performance gone down, but Hindi in both the test having equal marks. So after making the bar graph, certain question might be asked to you, like in which subject the performance is improved, which subject performance has gone down, and where it remains same, and what is the score, what is the improvement, in which year the improvement is maximum. Okay, this way different type of question might be said within the bar graph where two sets of information is there. Okay, here it is the performance of students, so it may be anything, two information in one bar graph. So I have another short video clip for you. I think it will clear your concept. Let's see.
Now, we might come across situations where we want to represent two sets of data simultaneously. So that is where we make use of double bar graph. So it is basically a bar graph, but instead of one bar, you have double bars. Now let us take this example. So we will consider the same example throughout to understand the concepts. So let's say the number of students versus their favorite fruits. So this study or this data is being recorded in the year 2014. Now, if you record the same data in 2015, that is in 2015, you do the same analysis of favorite fruits versus number of students. Now the data will change, right? Because maybe in 2014, 50 of them liked apple. In 2015, it is also possible that only 30 of them like apple, right? So the numbers would change with time. So now if I say that I want to do a comparative analysis between the 2 years, I want to see how the liking for a particular fruit increased or decreased over the years, over that 1 year from 2014 to 2015. Now, the moment we talk about comparative analysis of two sets of data, in that case we will have to represent those two sets of data in the same graph. Only then we can compare, right? Only then it will be an apple to apple comparison. So that is where we make use of double bar graphs, and a double bar graph looks somewhat like this. So here also we draw the same xy axis, but here you see instead of just one bar you have two bars. So one bar, all those bars which are represented in green, they represent 2014, and all those represented in blue represent 2015. Now, looking at this double bar graph, you can very clearly say that the liking for each of the fruits have decreased from 2014 to 2015. That means with passage of time, the liking for fruits is decreasing or is reducing. So this is an example of a double bar graph. So double bar graph is exactly the same concept as that of a bar graph. It is just that here we represent two sets of data. So here what are those two sets? One set of data is for 2014, the other set of data is for 2015. So in these kind of scenarios we make use of double bar graph. Now, what is the importance of double bar graph? So the first importance is that it helps in comparative analysis. You see, since we are able to plot the graphs for the 2 years in the same graph, so it helps us to compare that how things changed from 2014 to 15. So this helped us to analyze that the liking for each fruit has decreased in 1 year, and the maximum decrease has happened in case of apple, because when you look at the decrease in case of apple, this much decrease is there in apple, whereas the decrease is lesser in mango. The decrease is even very small in case of grapes. It is also quite small in case of banana, but in case of apple, the decrease is maximum. That means the liking for apple has reduced the most in 1 year. So all these kind of interpretations become easier with a double bar graph.
I think you have understood this concept. Okay, so now I have another type of representation that is double bar graph. So here you see information is given in a chart. You have to represent double bar graph. Say school A, school B, and school C. How many students are coming to school on foot? That is 40, and by cycling 45. School B 55, 25. School C 15, 35. So two sets of informations regarding that is the attendance in the school. What to do? I have to draw first bar graph, double bar graph. Okay, school A, the yellow color represent walking and green color represent cycling. I'll draw it, and then you have to answer the question: which school prefers walking than cycling? Which school prefers cycling than walking? And which school difference between the two mode is maximum? So here you see, in which school prefer walking than cycling? Walking in school B, number of children coming by walking 55, and by cycling 25, and difference is 30. So here the difference is maximum, and also they prefer most. Okay, and which school prefers cycling than walking? The cycling than walking, school A, the cycling is 45 and walking is 40. The difference is 5. Okay, maximum number of students by coming by cycling. Okay, so now in which school difference between the two mode is maximum? You see, in school B, on cycling coming 25 and on walking coming 50. The difference is 50. And here the difference you see, school C, the 15, and that is on walking 15, and by cycling 30 there is 20. Still the school B the difference is more. Okay. So this is that question where bar graph is given and certain question will be asked to you. You have to answer it. You have to study the double bar graph. You have to answer it. Clear? Now I have another set of data handling, representation of the data handling. But before that, you have to know certain terminology. Okay, these are very important for exam, not only for class 8, when you will be in class 9th or 10. These are very important for your life. So I request you, you all will note down it properly in your notebook, and you have to study it. And without this you cannot solve whatever the questions I will covering after this slide. Okay, so first, raw data. What is the meaning of raw data? When data is collected from the source of observation directly. Say I told you, so I have allowed to throw ball in a cricket ball throwing contest. So 60 students are participating, and each student is covering different distance. So whatever you are scoring, I am noting down without maintaining anything. That is called raw data. So when the data obtained from the source directly, then group data. After that, whatever you have obtained the data, if this gap, that means distance between the lowest scorer and the highest scorer is maximum, then it is very difficult to represent with the help of bar graph or whatever it is. Okay, then we have to group the data at certain, say 20 to 30 meter, how many students have thrown, 30 to 40 meter, how many students are thrown. This way we have to group this data. And data array. So when the data are arranged either in increasing or decreasing order, say I told you whatever your score of the throwing cricket ball, so what is the lowest and what is the highest? So we have to arrange from lowest to highest or highest to lowest. Anyway, that mode of representation is called data array. Frequency distribution table. So when you need to group the data, so we have to find out the frequency. That means number of observation occurs in a particular group. Say I said 30 feet to 40 feet. How many students are throwing? So we will record. Each observation is called the frequency. Say 6 children are there who are throwing 30 feet to 40 feet. So the class interval 30 to 40, okay, having 6 observation, that is the frequency is 6. This way entire observation we have to arrange in a table, and that table is called frequency distribution table. Okay, or tally marks table, both are same, frequency distribution table or tally marks table. Tally marks, so number of observation occurring in a particular group, particular class, okay, class interval or particular group, we represent as a slash. This slash, okay, and each slash is called frequency of that observation. So how many frequency will be that? After counting it, we can solve it. I will solve you after this slide also. You will make out what is this range. So as I told you, keep after arranging the observation from lowest to highest or highest to lowest, what is the gap? What is the distance between lowest to highest? Difference between the two, lowest and highest. That difference is called the range of that particular event or observation. Okay, difference between the lowest score and highest score, that observation is called range. It is very important because with the help of the range only we will decide whether we will make a table per observation only. When the range is very less, say difference between the two, say I have conducted class test out of 40 and maximum students, so all students are in 35 to 40. So we no need to take the class interval. So individually we can score like this. How many students score 35? How many students score 36, 37, 35? And that means 5 to 6. Within 5 to 6 categories, entire observation will be there. And that time no need to take the help of class interval. But when the score is maximum, lowest score is 3, highest score is 40. So difference between the lowest and highest is 37. It is very difficult to note down all the observation within this table. So then what to do? We have to take the help of class interval, that is group. We have to group the observation. Like you see how many students scored 0 to 10, then 10 to 20, then 20 to 30, then 30 to 40. If we after that, whatever the observation will make as a slash, this slash, okay, and we'll count how many slash is there. That is the frequency of that particular class interval. Are you clear? So when range is maximum, we have to take the help of class interval, and when the range is very less, no need to take the advance. Just write down the score of the lowest, and last one is the highest. Okay. Group frequency distribution table. As I told you earlier, when the observations, the range is maximum, we have to group the observation in a table, and that table is called group frequency distribution table. Okay. Lower limit and upper limit. So when I make a group, so always I said 0 to 10. Okay. So what is the lowest score? 0. And what is the highest score? 10. But at the time of marking, when one child is scoring 10, so that particular class interval 10 will not be marked, because 0 to 10, 10 to 20. So whatever your score, that should be always on the next score. Upper limit, when any number is falling on the upper limit, the lowest score 0 to 10 is called the class interval, 0 is called lower limit, 10 is called upper limit. When any number falling on upper limit, we have to shift it to the next class interval of lower limit. Okay, I'll show you. Okay. And class size and class mark. Size, what is the difference between the class interval, lower limit and higher limit? 0 to 10, what is the difference? Difference is 10. 10 to 20, what is the difference? Difference is 10. The 10, this difference is called the size of the class, and size of the class depends on the range. If the range is maximum, then we also increase the size. When the range is minimum, then we also decrease the size. Okay. And class mark, what is the class mark? As I told you, 10 to 20, 20 to 30. So what is the middle point of 10 to 20? 15. 20 to 30, what is the middle? 25. This middle of the class is called the class mark. How do you obtain it? Lower limit plus upper limit divided by 2, or orally you can do it. 20 and 10 and 20, what is the middle number? 15. But when the number like this 12, 18, and that time it will be little problem for you how to find out the middle of the class. So that's why better to find the middle of the class. What to do? We add the lower and upper, and then we divided it by 2. Say 10 plus 20, 30 divided by 2 is the 15. 20 to 30, 20 plus 30 is 50. 50 divided by 2 is 25. So middle of the class. Okay, this is the rule to find out the middle, or visually you can find out what is the middle number if you are confident enough. Okay. Now next, see, these are the very key area while working with the group frequency distribution table, double bar graph, histogram, etc. You have to remember throughout your life. Class 10, for class 10 it is very essential for frequency distribution table. Okay, remember it. And all the auxiliary type questions, fill in the blanks, multiple choice question, I generally set from here. So please be careful. Whatever I am saying, follow me and note down this and remember, memorize it by heart. Okay. Now the next slide, organizing the data. So I told you two we can organize. Say marks you are scoring in the class. Okay. So whatever the roll number 1 score, I have written roll number 1 15, roll number 2 38, roll number 3 30, roll number 4 25. So this is called raw data. Whatever your score directly I am maintaining, that is called raw data. But when we arrange, how many students score 0 to 10? How many students scored 10 to 20? How many students score 20 to 30? How many students score 30 to 40? In this way, if we write down the data, then it is called group data. Okay, and group data will be followed only, as I told earlier also, when the range is maximum. When the difference between the lowest score and highest score is maximum, then only you will follow the group data. Otherwise, we can simply write down the score as I told earlier. So I have conducted class tests out of 40 and the lowest score is 36 and the highest score is 40. So that time no need to take the group data, class interval. Okay, directly score. How many students scored 36? We will count it and write down. That will be the what tally marks and frequency. How many students scored 37? I will write down the in slash and then count it, write down as a frequency. But when the difference is maximum, then we take the help of class interval and I will group this data. Okay. Now see one example I am giving you. Say students are offered the four subject: art, mathematics, science, English basically. Okay. So how they are offering, how they are selecting their score? You have to make a class interval tally marks or table or what frequency distribution table. With the help of frequency distribution table or tally marks table, we have to represent the 17 students their choice. Okay, here you see the only 4 subjects alternately they are coming, so no need to follow the class group frequency distribution table. So directly you can write down the subject as a event. Okay, and then observation we will write down in the form of slash. Okay, let's see. 4 subject: art, math, science, English. Okay, now I have to mark it. Okay, um, how to write down? I have written as a subject arts, mathematics, science, English. So you just after writing the subject of 17 students, you will cut and make a slash here. Then next art, cut, make a slash here. Then science, cut, make a slash. Then art, cut, make a slash. Then science, cut, science. Then mathematics, maths. Then art, art. Then science, science, science. So science, science. After 4, I will make a bundle. Right. Then English, make a slash here, English. Then mathematics, make a slash here. Okay. Then mathematics again. This is the procedure you have to follow. Then art, art after 4 on bundle. Then art, next one again. Then English, make a slash here, English. Then English, English. Art, art. Science, science. Mathematics, mathematics. English, English. Mathematics, make a bundle. Okay, so these tally marks are the observation. How many tallies are there? Slash, here it is 7. Okay, how many students scored liking mathematics? 5. How many students liking science? 6. How many students like English? 4. On total, what will be the total number? 10, 15 and 15 is 22. So 22 number of student was 22. That number should match. Okay. So this is the observation. The field it is given. I have written in the frequency distribution table. After that, with the help of single bar graph, double or histogram, we histogram is not required because histogram will be taken then only when group frequency distribution is the table is there. It is not group frequency distribution table. Single art mass sense I have taken it, and then we can represent with the help of bar graph. Have you understood? Same way, now this time, what is the score? Out of 50, I have conducted class test, and number of students is 60. Clear? Class 8 class test. Whatever the test few days back I have taken. Mind it. Suppose. Okay. So we have to represent it in a group distribution table, frequency distribution table. So first of all, you have to see what is the lowest number. Lowest number is 5. Lowest number is 5 and highest number is 50. What is the gap? 50 minus 5, 45. This time 40 observation in a vertical line, it is not justifiable. We have to do it without class interval. This time we have to take the help of class interval of group. We have to prepare a group frequency distribution table. Say how many students score 0 to 10, how many students score 10 to 20, how many students score 20 to 30, how many students score 30 to 40 and 40 to 50. That means within 5 class intervals, 5 groups, entire information can be represented. After that, we can draw what? Histogram. Histogram will be there when group frequency distribution table will be there. Now see how I am doing it. So groups are 0 to 10. Okay, 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 40 to 50, 50 to 60. Why? I am telling you. And the tally marks, each observation you have to record in the form of tally slash, and then you have to add the total observation, and that will be the frequency of that class group. Now say now 36, 36. I am just cutting 36, 36. So 36 will be where? 30 to 40. So you have to make a slash 30 to 40. Now 21 will be falling where? 20 to 30. Now 18 will be where? 10 to 20. Okay, then 33 will be 30 to 40. Okay, then 10 will be where? I cannot write down 10 here, upper limit. I told you now, when any observation falling on the upper limit, we cannot take. We have to shift it lower limit of the next class. Okay, then 10 will be recorded in the second class interval. Understood? So you have to represent 10 here. So now 20, same 20, 10 to 20. I cannot represent 20 here. You have to write down the lower limit of the next class, that is here. You have to represent. Then 47 will be 40 to 50. Then 30 will be where? I cannot write down 30 here. So 30 to 40 we have to write here. Okay. Then 38 will be 30 to 40. Make a bundle. After 4 it will be a bundle. Then 48 will be 40 to 50. Clear? Then 22 will be 20 to 30. 22, another 22 here. Then 50 will be where? I cannot write down 50 here. 50 will be the next class. 50. Then 33, 30 to 40. Next line. Then 44 will be 40 to 50. Then 39 will be 30 to 40. Then 5 will be 0 to 10. 5, 16, 10 to 20. 20, it will be 20 to 30. Make a bundle. This line is coming accidentally, don't consider this line. Next is 37. 37 will be 30 to 40. Then 24. 24 will be here. 20 to 30. Then 7. 7 will be here. 0 to 10. 12. 10 to 20. 10. Again 10 to 20. Make a bundle. 16. Again here. Then 25. 25 will be 20 to 30. 20 to 30. Make a row. Then coming 27. Again 20 to 30. 27. Next is 36. 36 will be 30 to 40. Then 42. 42 will be 40 to 50. 40 to 50. 39. 39 will be here. Make a bundle. 45. Again make a bundle of 40 to 50. 15 will be 10 to 20. 28 will be here. 20 to 30. 47. 47 will be 40 to 50. 39. 39 will be in 30 to 40. Then 49 will be 40 in 40 to 50. Okay. Then 30 will be in 30 will be, listen again we have to shift in the next class. Okay. Then 26 will be 20 to 30. Make a bundle. 20 to 30. 20 to 30. Make a bundle. Then coming 29 will be 20 to 30. Then 22. Again 20 to 30. 30 to 32. 30 to 40. 30 to 40. Then 17 will be 10 to 20. 18 10 to 20. 23 will be 20 to 30. Then 27 20 to 30. Then 31 30 to 40. Make a bundle. 28 will be 20 to 30. Make a bundle. 21 will be 20 to 30. Again new line. 19 will be 20 to 10 to 20. Make a bundle. Then 34 will be 30 to 40. Make a new line. 29 will be 20 to 30. Then 22 to 30. Then 35 30 to 40. Then 23 20 to 30. Then 31 will be 30 to 40, 36, 36 will be 32, 40, then 24, 24, 24 will be 20 to 30. One is this, another slab. Now entire 60 students mark I have represented within this class interval with the help of group frequency distribution table. Now note down the observation. How many times 10, 0 to 10, how many students score 0 to 10? That is 2 students only. Write down 2. How many students score 10 to 20? 10 students only. How many students score 20 to 30? Here it will be 21 students score 20 to 30. How many students score 30 to 40? 15 plus 1, 19. 19 students score 30 to 40. How many students scored 40 to 50? 5 plus 2, 7. 7 only. And how many students scoring 50 to 60? That is 1 student only. Now you add all this, so it should be 60. If it is not coming 60, that means while cutting and writing you have done some sort of mistake. You have to do it again. Okay, now I'm adding it. 19 plus 21, 40, 40 plus 8, 48 plus 2, 50, 50 plus this 60. Exactly it is matching. So our total observation is 60. After that, this class interval will be the event, and this number frequency will be the vertical line. We can draw histogram, and after making histogram, certain question might be asked to you: in which group of children scoring maximum marks, which group is the least mark, what is the maximum, what is the number of students who score maximum marks. This type of different type question might be asked. Let's see. This is the class interval and frequency I have taken, and now histogram will be like this. Okay, how many scored 0 to 10? 0 to 10, 0 to 10 is how many students scoring 0 to 10? Here 0 to 10 is only 2. 10 to 20 is 10. Why these bars are attached to each other? Because I told you when any number falling on the upper limit, I am not considering it. I am shifting to the lower limit of the next class. That's why the one side of the bar first class will be the first bar, line of the next class. That's why upper limit and lower limit of the next class will be attached to each other and forming what? This vertical line. And here also maximum vertical line of the next class is this, and again 20 to 30 the vertical line will be minimum this much. So this way you have to proceed, and certain question might be asked to you. Okay, now some interesting part also this. So here I am showing a bar graph representation related to 25 teachers, the age of the 25 teachers in a school. You see 20 to 25 age group people are 4, 25 to 35, 30 to 40, 35, 6, and 35 to 40 is 3, and 40 to 45 is 2, and 45 to 50 is 5. Now, one thing you note here, when this is x-axis and this is y-axis, here 0 is here. So, when any class interval is not starting from 0, or any observation not starting from 0, directly starting from somewhere. Okay, so we have to give a jag line, that is called kink, zigzag line or jag line, what is called kink, K-I-N-K, kink. Okay, it means, or we have to wait 20 to 30 here, so it will not look like x-axis and y-axis should be close to each other. That's why we have left some space, and jag line is there. It represents that number is not starting from 0. Even sometimes the observation that frequency also have jag line. Say how many teachers in a state age group is 10 to 50. That time the number will be 8,000 or 80,000. So 0 is here. How can I write down the 80,000 in here? So I can write down 80,000, then 1 lakh, then 1 lakh 50, then 2 lakh, 2 lakh 50. That will be a difference of 50,000. So here 0 to 80, that will be jag line. Okay, and that it means that number is not starting from 0, directly somewhere after 1000. Okay, it's covering certain thousand. So jag line will maybe in the frequency number of frequency line or the event line. Both way it may be possible. Okay, so this is the histogram which represents the ages of 25 school 25 teachers of a school, and the number is like this. After that I can say how many teachers having maximum age? 5 only. 5 only, maximum 45 to 50 age group teacher are 5 maximum age group this. And which number of age group, which age group teachers are maximum? Here 30 to 35 years age group teachers are in maximum in number, that is 6. So this way certain question might be asked after framing histogram. Are you clear? Now see another histogram like to do. So here you see here we see salary of the 30 employees, weekly salary of 30 employees are mentioned here. Clear? So you see we have to note down first what is the minimum salary age group, that is 804, and what is the maximum? Maximum is, by mistake have given 890, it will be this. That work we have to do first. Are you clear? That we have to do first, because with the help of this we have to decide minimum is 804 and maximum is 898. The gap is maximum. Here also we have to take the help of group frequency distribution table. That means their salary we have to group. Group will be either multiple of 10 or multiple of 20 or multiple of 25, whatever it will be good. So better is the 800 to 820, 820 to 840. This group is very by this way. What is this? Within 5 class interval I can represent all the students, all the employees, their salary. Okay, now again we have to make a tally marks here. Clear? So 830 will be where? 820 to 840. Make a slash here. 820. I cannot write down here 820. I told you when any observation falling on the upper limit, you have to shift it in the lower limit. So 820 will be here. Okay. Then 885. That means 80 to 900. So you have to write down here. Clear? So now then next is 835. 835 will be 840 to 860 here. Then 860. I cannot write down here. I have to shift here. Okay. Then 835. Again 835 will be here. Then 890. 890 will be 880 to 900. 832 will be 20 to 40. 835 again 40 to 6. Sorry, 835 will be 820 to 40. Okay, and 810 will be 800 to 820. 833 will be 820 to 840. So make a slash 5. 836 will be here only. 835 will also 20 to 40 here only. 855 will be 40 to 60 here. 878 will be 60 to 80. 836 will be 820 to 40, 845 will be 40 to 60, 840, 40 to 60, make a bundle here. 869, 869 will be 60 to 80, 804, 804 will be 800 to 800, this 868, 868 will be where, 860 to 80, 60 to 80, 845, 45 will be 40 to this, 808, 808 will be 800 to 820, that salary group. 890, that is 800 to 800, this 898 to be here only. 812, 12 will be 800 to 800, this 806 will be here, make a bundle. So here 890, 90 will be here, make a bundle. 840, 40 will be here, 42, 40 to 60, 840, 40 to 60. Now count the number. So 800 to 820, how many employees are there? 5, right? 820 to 40, how many employees are there? 8. 842, how many employees are there? 8. 860 to 880, how many employees are there? 4. And here 5. Forget this line. So what is the total? You count 5 plus 8, 13, 13 plus 8, 21, 21 plus 4, 25, 25 plus 5, 30. So earlier it was a work of 30 employee. You can take this one. Clear? So I have drawn the frequency distribution table, that is that class interval is 800 to 820 and frequency is 5 and 10. Now with the help of this class interval and frequency, I can draw histogram also. You see, this is the histogram. So 800 to 820, 5 employees are there. Then 820 to 820 to 840, 10 employees are there. This way, after that certain question might be asked, like you see, which group has the maximum number of worker? The employee earning 820 to 840 having the maximum number of worker, that is 10. Which group, how many workers earn 850 and more? 850 falls in where? This 840 to 860, and that number is 6, and this is 4, and this 5, that is total 15. So you have to count this one, 840 onward and above, so it will be 15 employee. And how many workers less than 15? So less than 15 also we have to leave 840 to 860, that means this two group counting, it is coming 15. Okay, so these are the different type of question. First we have to frame histogram, sorry, group class interval table, frequency distribution table, and then with the help of class interval and frequency we have to draw histogram. Here also you see the kink. Have you noticed? In x-axis the kink is here, this one. Why? Because the class interval directly starting from 800, not from 0. That's why 0 to 800 there should be a gap. Okay, and this gap is called kink or jagged line. Okay, and the number always frequency in the vertical line, it is starting from 0 only, so no kink is there. Clear? Now here what we'll have, class interval and frequency is there, and question is there, you have to answer it. What is the size of the class interval? Size means upper and lower. What is the difference? On all classes, upper and lower difference is 25. So class interval size of the class interval is 25. So class interval size, how do you find out the size? Upper minus lower. Size we find out upper minus lower. Okay. Which class has the highest frequency? You see this class 120, 40, 200 to 225 rupees earning groups are in maximum mean number 140. Okay, that is daily income. Which class has the lowest frequency? Lowest frequency is where, and just check it, 20. 20 is the lowest number, I think. Yes, that means worker earning 300 to 325, that income group workers are very less, that number is only 20. So I am working with 200 550 workers. Within this short table I am representing 550 workers. This is the benefit. What is the upper limit of the class 250 to 275? Upper limit. So this one is, the first one is called lower limit, and next one is called upper limit. So upper limit is the 275 and lower limit is 250. So they are asking upper limit, you answer upper limit only. 275 is the upper limit. What is, which two classes having the same frequency? Find out which where it is same. 55, that is the workers earning rupees 225 to 250 also having 55, and the worker earning 150 to 175 also having 55. Are you clear? Now certain homework I am giving you. So same way, whatever the way I have taught you. So in first one is what, the lowest observation is 0 and highest is 6. So here no need to take the help of group class interval. You have to just score wise prepare the frequency distribution table. Prepare frequency distribution table above information, and which category of employee, answer which category of employee has maximum mean number, which is minimum number. After making the frequency distribution table, automatically you will come to know what will be your answer. So here, but in the question number 2, the weight in kg of 38 students of class 8 of certain school are given below. So weights, what is the lowest number? 32, and what's the highest number? 53. So 32 to 53 individual weight writing is not possible. So gap is maximum. We should take that table only which is finished within 5 to 6. Within 5 to 6 class interval, entire thing should be over. Okay. So in that case, we have to take the group frequency distribution table. After that, class interval and frequency. With the help of class interval and frequency, we prepare the histogram. Clear? Same, one histogram is there. Okay, and certain question is asked to you. Okay, you have to find out the answer. You have to give the answer. You note down. For how many students was TV for less than 4 hours? Less than 4 hours. TV. TV is where? Watching TV less than 4 hours. How many students? There are 4 hours only. Less than 4 hours. Is there any students watching less than 4 hours? No one. No students are there. 4 and less. If the question is 4 hours and less, then we can take the number of children. 4 hours. Sorry, this is hour. 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. This 4 hours and less. 4 hours less than 4 hours means this two. These two class interval you have to do. 10 students. Okay. So you will answer it. I have given you answer. Okay. Another class interval frequency distribution is table is there, and certain question has been asked. You have to answer. You follow the histogram properly, you will come to know properly. Okay. So this is all about today's class. Next day I will cover the remaining part of the this data handling. Till then, bye bye students, and have a good day.